Russian forces are preparing to launch a fresh military offensive in the coming weeks to maximize the pressure on Ukraine and strengthen the Kremlin's negotiating position in ceasefire talks, Ukrainian government and military analysts said. The move could give Russian President Vladimir Putin every reason to delay discussions about pausing the fighting in favor of seeking more land, the Ukrainian official said, renewing their country's repeated arguments that Russia has no intention of engaging in meaningful dialogue to end the war. With the spring fighting season drawing near, the Kremlin is eyeing a multi-pronged push across the 1,000-kilometer front line, according to the analysts and military commanders. Citing intelligence reports, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said Russia is getting ready for new offensives in the northeast Sumy, Kharkiv and Zaporizhia regions. They're dragging out the talks and trying to get the US stuck in endless and pointless discussions about fake conditions just to buy time and then try to grab more land. Zelensky said on Thursday in a visit to Paris. Putin wants to negotiate over territory from a stronger position. 2 G7 diplomatic officials in Kiev agreed with that assessment. They spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to brief the press. Russia has effectively rejected a US proposal for an immediate and full 30-day halt in fighting, and the feasibility of a partial ceasefire on the Black Sea was thrown into doubt after Kremlin negotiators imposed far-reaching conditions. Battlefield success is clearly in Putin's mind. On the entire front line, the strategic initiative is completely in the hands of the Russian armed forces, Putin said Thursday at a forum in the Arctic port of Murmansk. Our troops, our guys, are moving forward and liberating one territory after another, one settlement after another every day. Kremlin forces keep pressing forward, Ukrainian military commanders said. Russia recently stepped up attacks to improve its tactical positions ahead of the expected broader offensive. They need time until May, that's all, said Ukrainian military analyst Pavlo Narozny, who works with soldiers and learns about intelligence from them. In the north, Russian and North Korean soldiers have nearly deprived Kyiv of an essential bargaining chip by retaking most of Russia's Kursk region, where Ukrainian soldiers staged a daring incursion last year. Battles have also escalated along the eastern front in Donetsk and Zaporizhia. A concern among some commanders is whether Russia might divert battle-hardened forces from Kursk to other parts of the east. It will be hard. The forces from Kursk will come on a high from their wins there, said a Ukrainian battalion commander in the Donetsk region who spoke on condition of anonymity to describe his concerns. They are preparing offensive actions on the front, and that should last from 6 to 9 months, almost all of 2025. Said Ukrainian military analyst Oleksiy Hetman, who has connections to the military's general staff. Massive attacks on the Engels air base in the Saratov region cost Russia $980 million, writes Forbes. On the morning of March the 20th, Ukrainian drones struck the Engels air base, where strategic bombers are stationed, for the third time in 10 weeks. According to the Ukrainian General Staff, the explosions destroyed 96 Kh-101 cruise missiles, which were one of Russia's key weapons for strikes against Ukraine. The missiles launched by Tu-95 and Tu-160 bombers have a range of 900 kilometers and carry 450-kilogram warheads. The General Staff in Kiev said the munitions had been prepared by Moscow for attacks on Ukrainian cities in the near future. The 96 missiles destroyed are equivalent to 2 months of production at the Raduga Design Bureau plant outside Moscow. Each Kh-101 costs at least $10 million, meaning Russia's total losses from the strike on Engels could reach $960 million, not including damage to fuel depots and other facilities at the base. When explosions and smoke billowed from the airbase on March the 20th, the Ukrainian Center for Strategic Communications noted wryly that Engels was facing serious difficulties, but those problems had begun even earlier. On January the 8th, Ukrainian drones flew more than 400 miles to strike the Saratov region where the base is located. Explosions then caused a fire at a warehouse storing 800,000 tons of fuel. The fire raged for nearly a week and was only fully extinguished on January the 14th, when Ukrainian drones carried out another attack. That day, Stratcom warned there will be no rest for the wicked. Ukraine has developed a wide arsenal of long-range drones, including modified sports aircraft capable of carrying hundreds of kilograms of explosives up to 1,300 kilometers. It has also developed a long-range version of the Neptune cruise missile, which has already been used in combat. Most of these strikes have targeted Russian ammunition depots, such as the base in Engels. But the Frontelligence Insight Analysis Group says more than half of the attacks recorded between September and February had limited impact. Russian repair crews quickly repaired damaged facilities, and the military industry found ways to compensate for losses. More frequent attacks using more powerful munitions rather than light attack drones could be more effective, experts say. However, Ukraine has limited access to long-range precision Western missiles such as the British Storm Shadow, French Scalp, and American ATACMS. Domestic production of such systems, including the Neptunes, has not yet reached the necessary scale. That's why Ukraine's strategy has changed recently, with drones now more often targeting Russia's critical oil infrastructure, which has significant economic clout. The Ukrainian military expects that strikes on the energy sector will have a long-term impact, unlike attacks on ammunition depots, even if the explosions of the depots look more impressive on camera. Let us recall that last week, the SBU and the Special Operations Forces carried out drone attacks on the Engels airfield in the Saratov region of the Russian Federation. As a result of the attack, a fire, explosions and secondary detonations of ammunition occurred at the airfield. In addition, during the attack, the enemy air defense was unable to counteract the Ukrainian drones. British intelligence noted that the strike was the most successful attack on enemy munitions in 2025. It was emphasized that the attack caused significant damage and is likely to disrupt strike operations from this airfield.